Don't want your builds overrun with mobs? Don't want your roofs to become de facto mob farms? You need to know what's spawnable and what isn't. Fortunately, I've been doing some experimenting. I'm in 1.16.1 in a new test world, and I've been playing. All these blocks laid out here, these have all been tested. These are spawnable, these are non-spawnable. We'll go through them in a minute. There are blocks here that are obvious that are missing. I did not bother testing these because we know these sorts of blocks are spawnable. The stones, the woods, wool, the ores, things can spawn on them. We've known that for ages. But what about some of the others? So I set up a test chamber. We'll just come in here. I've broken a hole in the wall just so we've got access. And you can see they're quite busy in there. I've got cells. That side is set up the same as this side. We've got cells of 4 blocks. We have glass and wall between. The idea is that if mobs spawn, they can't wander out. When I was testing, I was killing spiders because the spiders wander around and you can't really tell where they spawned. So this test chamber is for, top half slabs, bottom half slabs. And as you can see, the mobs are really happy to spawn on the top half slabs. They're not interested in the bottom half slabs. I set all this up. I would turn, we go to options, difficulty to peaceful to set it. And then back to normal. Come out of the chamber. Stay about here for 20 minutes. Go back in, look at what's going on, reset it. I did that 4 times for each set, so that's an hour and 20 minutes testing for each set of blocks. And these are the results. Some of them were surprising and some of them I did extra testing on. So let's go have a look. So the chamber in there was for top half slabs and bottom half slabs, and I tended to test in groups if I could. Now some of this, a lot of you are going to go, I already knew that. That's fine. Testing things I already knew to see if it was working properly was useful. So we know top half slabs are spawnable, bottom half slabs aren't. Upside down stairs are spawnable, right way upstairs aren't. The trapdoors were interesting, we'll talk about them. I tested workstations. Of the workstations, the only ones that aren't spawnable are the lectern, the stone cutter, and the grindstone. And you can see why. They're not full blocks. They don't come up to the top of the block height. They're not a full shape. I did the new full blocks that we got with the 1.16 Nether update. All spawnable. Lodestone and respawn anchor, spawnable. Note blocks. I could list all these, but you've got a fair idea what's already spawnable. Let's talk about what isn't. Some of this is not a surprise. Bottom half slabs, right way upstairs, lower set trapdoors, pressure plates, buttons. Pressure plates and buttons are great for spawn proofing roofs. The pressure plates, now that we've got them in all the different wood types, can just look like tiles on a roof. Fantastic way to keep a gentle slab sloped roof free of mobs. Farmland and path blocks, not spawnable. As you can see, they don't come up to the top of the block, that's why. The water's here to keep the farmland hydrated so it didn't revert to dirt, but shallow water is also non-spawnable and can be a handy decorating tool and keep the mobs at bay. And then we've got a couple of interesting results. Upper edge trapdoors, the trapdoors that sit right at the top of the block. I've got 3 here that are definitely spawnable. And I haven't got their counterparts here in the non-spawnable. And this is why. I tested these for 2.5 hours. Iron trapdoors set near the top were a little bit spawnable. You get the odd mob here and there. The 2 new trapdoors, the crimson and the warped, are incredibly spawnable. Each 20-minute stint, they were just filling up. These are currently in 1.16.1 not spawnable at all, and they are supposed to be. In 1.14, Mojang announced that they were making these spawnable, and they were. Suddenly, 1.16.1, these are not. I have not put them here in the non-spawnable section because I think this is a mistake or an oversight. I'm pretty sure it'll get fixed. At the moment, they're not spawnable. Don't count on it. But here's the big surprise, or it was a big surprise for me. Glazed terracotta. Glazed terracotta is not spawnable at all. I tested it and retested it and wasn't quite sure what I was seeing. So I set up a specific test chamber for it. Now, the whole time that's been going off and they've been making a mob mosh pit, this has also been sitting here. And look at it. Completely empty. Glazed terracotta is completely non-spawnable. For decorative floors, for reflected floors, this is a revelation. So that's it. Not a definitive guide, but enough to get going and enough to make your builds spawn proof, and more than enough to be playing with.